You've probably seen this acronym, DEI, pop up just about everywhere, right? From company mission statements to news headlines. But what is everyone really talking about? Well, in this explainer, we're going to break it all down and demystify these three big ideas: diversity, equity, and inclusion.
So these three words, they're not just some corporate buzzwords you can check off a list. The best way to think about them is as interconnected building blocks. To really get it, you have to see how they fit together to build a place where, everyone can actually thrive. So let's start with the foundation, shall we?
All right, so our first block is diversity. This is the starting point for everything else, and it's really all about just acknowledging the world as it is.
At its very heart, diversity is the simple, powerful idea that every single person is unique. It's about recognizing and respecting all of our differences, and that means everything: race, gender, physical ability, our religious beliefs, even different ways of thinking. It's the whole beautiful spectrum of the human experience.
And this quote right here, it really nails a key shift in thinking. See, the goal isn't just to tolerate differences, like you're just putting up with something. It's about an active process. It's about embracing and truly celebrating what makes each of us who we are. It's a much more positive, much more engaged way to approach it.
But here's the thing. This doesn't just happen by accident. You can't just wish for it. Building an environment that truly values diversity requires intentional action. It's a whole set of conscious practices that we all have to actively choose to do.
So what do those practices actually look like? Well, it's everything from practicing real mutual respect for people who've had different life experiences than you, to actively recognizing how discrimination can create, imbalances of privilege and disadvantage. It's about building bridges across our differences, not just standing on opposite sides and observing them.
And look, to see why this is so important, you don't have to look very far. Take a look at this data. This is the demographic breakdown of kids under 5 in California. Half are Latino, 30% are white non-Latino, 10% are Asian Pacific Islander. This isn't some abstract concept for the future. Diversity is the reality of our communities right now.
Okay, so if diversity is the reality, how do we make sure that reality is fair for everyone? That brings us to our second building block, equity. And, to really understand what equity is, you first have to understand what it's not, and that's equality.
People mix these two up all the time, but they mean very different things. Equality is about sameness. It means everyone gets the exact same thing, the same support. But equity is about fairness. It means everyone gets the specific support they need to have a real chance at success. It gets that we're not all starting from the same place.
This classic analogy just makes it crystal clear. So in the first picture, that's equality. Everyone gets one box. Sounds fair, right? But it isn't, because the shortest person is still left out. But now look at the second picture. That's equity. The boxes are handed out based on need. The outcome is what matters. Now, everybody can see the game. That's the whole point.
But let's just pause for a second here. Even if you create a perfectly fair system where everyone can see over the fence, does that guarantee that they feel like they are truly part of the group watching the game, that they really belong? Well, that's where our final crucial block comes in.
This final block, and really the ultimate goal of all of this, is inclusion. This is what it's all building towards, creating a genuine sense of belonging. So inclusion is all about designing our communities, our schools, our jobs, our neighborhoods, so that every single person, no matter their background or ability, can participate as a full, valued member. It's not just about letting people in the door, it's about making them feel truly welcome once they're inside.
And getting there really breaks down into these three key features. It all starts with access, making sure everyone can get to the opportunities. Then it's about making sure they can fully participate, which might mean some customized accommodations. And finally, you have to have the right supports in place for the folks on the ground, like the teachers or the managers who are making it all happen every day.
So now that we've looked at all three blocks individually, let's stack them up and see how they come together to create the bigger picture.
It really is a logical flow when you think about it. Diversity is simply the what. It's the reality of our differences. Equity is the how. It's the active practice of making sure everyone gets a fair shot. And inclusion, well, that's the why. It's the end goal, the incredible feeling you get when everyone has a true sense of belonging.
At the end of the day, you really can't have one without the others. They all depend on each other. The whole point is to build an environment that doesn't just have a bunch of different people, but one that actively values that diversity, and then uses the tools of equity to make sure every single person feels like they truly, deeply belong.
So that leaves us with a question for you to take with you. Think about your own community, your workplace, your school, your neighborhood. How do you see these three ideas, diversity,
equity, and inclusion showing up? And maybe more importantly, where is there still work to be done?